themselves. Now, what does this mean? Today, my group, I'm Michelle, we have Eugene, and then Ting Wei over there. Two of us will be telling you more about how you can help people with depression help themselves. Okay, but today, before we go into the technical bits of the issues surrounding depression or what you can do to help, I'd like to start off by telling you a story. Alright, this is a picture of me and my JC classmates, and amongst one of the 7 of us, one of us has actually suffered and is still suffering from depression. So before I do my part and tell you the story, maybe can I get someone or a few of you to actually guess which one of us has had depression before? Anyone want to take a guess?
The second one from the right.
Alright, let's take one from the right. It's me. Alright, other than Nicholas, anyone else want to try? We have a few more.
The one on the left.
Alright, maybe you, one more person
Beside her.
beside her. Is this one? Alright. Okay, all of your responses are actually not exactly right. Okay, the person who actually has depression is close to who Nicholas mentioned. It is actually the person right over there, the third from the right. Okay, her name is Pion, and this is her story. Alright, that one beside me, the other one with the tongue out. Alright, so back in junior college, around 3 months into JC, Pion started having these moments of despair, I would say. In the middle of class, while the teacher was still talking, she would suddenly bolt out of nowhere. Or, sitting in front of the class, you would suddenly see her burst into tears. And as her friends, we were just very puzzled. Back in JC, we didn't know better. We didn't know what was going on. So all we could really tell her was, hey Pion, don't be so stressed. I think you need a timeout. I think, maybe just go for a run or do something. But that didn't really help at all. Words like this actually manifested within her and actually became something worse. Okay, besides those kind of behavior, on days that she will come to school, we will often see slits on her wrists. It was really, really real. And again, because we didn't know better, all we would say is, why are you trying to seek attention? Or we would scold her. We would be like, stop hurting yourself, stop doing this, it's not good for you. But things like that actually led Pion to think that, all of this stress, everything that she was going through was because she was weak, because she was pathetic, because she did not know better. Why am I telling you this story? It's because first and foremost, depression is not observable. I got y'all to try to guess who had depression. Y'all didn't really guess the right person. You can't really tell from their faces. And second is because we lack understanding of depression. I'm not saying that we lack understanding out of nowhere. Okay, this is actually something that we got out of the survey that we got you to do for us. Alright, okay, this is just one of the questions, but overall, the survey told us that we fall short in our understanding. And zooming into this question, so basically we presented you all with this statement. Depression is akin to extreme grief. The answer should have been no, because the lines should be distinct. But in this class, 60% of you actually said yes. And I think what was interesting for us was that when we brought this survey out to the street, when we asked the rest of our friends who weren't in this class, the results were reversed. 60% actually answered correctly for this question. So what does this say about this class? No, I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm trying to say that today's presentation is for you. And why is there a need to talk about depression? Because depression is so inextricably linked to suicide. Many of them end up taking their lives, end up splitting themselves like what I said just now. And I believe that if were any of your friends in that position, you wouldn't want to see them have to suffer and take their own lives. So in a subsequent presentation, we're going to tell you more about the symptoms of depression, how to spot someone with depression, and from there what you can do as a friend, as a peer, to support your friends and give them the treatment that they need. And with that, I'll hand the time over to Eugene.
Michelle. Now that Michelle has went over why depression is such a serious problem and why you should care about it, I'll be going over what depression is. Is it sadness and grief? Or it really isn't sadness or grief? But what makes it different than for sadness and grief then? I'll also be going over how you can identify depression in ourselves and other people. I have an uncle on my mother's side. 25 years ago, his first son died of leukemia. Subsequently, his family and social life collapsed, and he had even lost his job. He had to get a new house. It was only 5 years ago he was finally diagnosed with depression. So what does this tell us? Firstly, depression is a serious problem that lasts decades. Secondly, it can be very difficult to spot even in ourselves. So what are the symptoms of depression? Firstly, disrupted sleeping patterns. This can take the form of losing sleep or sleeping at different times of the day. Now, just because someone is losing sleep doesn't mean, oh dear, they're depressed. No. It could be physical illness, etc. But it's about what else? They can be agitated, restless, they can lash out if you approach them. They can lose concentration, lose passion for things they love. And this can also manifest in their physical appearance. They can become skinnier like me, or they can become physically worse in appearance. Finally, people who are depressed also think of suicide. You can't just see that people, obviously. You can't tell they're thinking of suicide. But then if you're thinking of ending or you can't see anything in the future for yourself after a major crisis, maybe you might consider seeking medical attention for depression. Alright, so what is it about sadness that makes it important in depression? People tend to mistake the two after all. They're just low moods. And worse still, there's emo culture in society that makes people think people are depressed just really, really sad. That's not the case. Depression is low mood, but then it's also a clinical and clinically recognized mental illness. Unlike sadness, sadness is a state of mind. It has rational explanations. People are sad when bad things happen to them or they lose something in their lives. People are depressed. It doesn't always have a rational explanation. It can be caused by a chemical imbalance in their brain. Because of that, people are depressed. People are depressed, they tend to, because of that, people who are sad, they can overcome by themselves. They can eventually just sort out the problem or they can just let it pass. People are depressed, they can't just wait for it to pass. So they need medical attention, they need medical treatment, and even so it can take decades to treat. To give people a metaphor, people's life consists of rainy days and sunny days. On rainy days, for example, you failed your exam, you lost your dog, you broke up with your girlfriend or boyfriend. On sunny days, you got a raise, you got the school you wanted, you got a girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, on rainy days, people are sad, and on sunny days, they are not sad, they're happy. But for people who are depressed, it doesn't matter what the weather is. It could be rainy or sunny, but it's just this crushing desert of hopelessness before them. As a result, they just see no hope in front of themselves, they just can't find a rational explanation out of that. And because of that, many of them choose to end it for themselves. Now that I went through what I can do to identify depression, as well as what society thinks of it, I think we'll be going over the solutions what you can do to help people you think are depressed, as well as how romanticization of depression has affected the perception of society. Thank you.
Thank you, Richie. So now that we know about the differences between sadness and depression and the symptoms of depression, but some people will actually question, is depression truly a problem in society? Is it really something that is really major and we should care about it? I mean, there's no surprise that people will conceive this idea that depression is merely a trivial problem, given that social media has greatly trivialized the importance and danger of depression. Now look at this Instagram account. She's a Vietnamese and she came to Singapore when she was 15. She has a very good 637,000 followers. She must be very popular and people like her content very much. Now look at her photos. It's very disturbing, I would say, and depressing. But some people, a unique crowd of people will find it interesting. Look at this photo. There are still multiple cuts and slits throughout her leg, and she trapped herself in this cage. I mean, some people might say this is just self-expression, creating art. But the shocking part is in her latest post, in her latest and finest post, she announced that she ended her own life. Yeah. So the message I wish to convey is the power of media has really influenced the mind of individuals to trivialize depression and make it an acceptable tool to seek attention from the mass. Now that we know the problems, the symptoms, and how depression is actually trivialized in society, let's move on to the solutions, the possible solutions that we can adopt in order to solve all these problems. First advice, I think as this is a very simple thing that everyone can do. A compassionate listener is more important than giving advice. I think merely giving advice is just like what the other groups have said, adding additional stress to the depressed individual. What the depressed individual needs is a compassionate listener. Someone that it will make them feel that they are tackling this problem not by themselves. They are not alone. They are not alone in this journey, but they are together with a bunch of group of people who are able to help him or her. Now think about it. If you're, let's put this in context. Think about it. If your father comes in, if you're like busy with work, you're really busy and you have a lot of work at home, you have deadlines, assignments, projects, and your dad comes in and he tells you, you better quit tennis, instructs you to better quit tennis, which you enjoy very much as a CCA. How does it feel? I think it probably feels more stressful because the solution that he provided isn't very concrete and it doesn't really improve the situation. So how can we start a conversation? I think we can start a conversation by saying, hey, I think you look a bit different today. I'm just wondering how are you doing? I think this simple question that cares for the opposite individual really helps make them feel that they are actually not alone. Actually, someone cares about me. I think you should avoid saying things like, it's all in your mind. Just stay positive. Look on the bright side. These are the things that might sound positive. You might have a good intention, but it doesn't have a intended outcome. So I think now what you guys can try is try to say this to the person beside you. Okay, does it help? I think Singapore has a very conservative society or culture. We don't really go out and explicitly ask if how are you doing, care for other people. But I think we need to start this and care for other people because we do not actually. I think most Singaporeans will not want to burden their problems on other individuals. They will not say that actually I'm facing this problem and openly ask for help. I mean, yeah. Okay, so the second strategy is to pledge. You can pledge our commitments to fight against mental illnesses, including depression. So I think this is a very concrete and feasible way to do it because people will most likely have a higher chance to stick to their promises if they pledge. And any willing Samaritans, they are able to, they want to donate a sum of money and they can. So in conclusion, I think through collective effort and through concerted effort, we can make the world a brighter place and the fight against depression less daunting. Let's bring a smile to the depressed individual, yeah, and depressed fighters go out and change the world. Okay, Q&A.
You mentioned that one of the core directions is like a pledge. So I believe that probably you all have some strategies in mind. Could you all share that with us on how you can encourage people to make a pledge? Or what are the platforms available to us?
Okay, I think we can start with a blog post. Yeah, you can go visit our blog. I think we have very structured and concrete ideas and solutions in our blog post. But I think the pledge is not included in our blog post. But I think through our blog post we can understand more symptoms, problems, everything on depression and how it really concerns and relate to you. Yeah. But I think through pledging, right, you'll be able. It's another avenue where you can find symptoms. You can find out more about depression. and really pledge your commitment towards the fight against depression. I mean, people are busy nowadays. We are busy with work, studies, family, everything. You cannot, I mean, and there are many problems out in the society. Ex-convicts, national service. Then every single group wants everyone to do something. Then everyone we are just distracted. But I think a simple pledge, a simple commitment towards just not stigmatizing depressed people, individuals, will actually contribute to changing the culture of the entire society. Yeah. Thank you for that.
I think depression doesn't, as you guys said, it can strike anyone anytime, be it whether they've gone through as many rainy days or happy days as whoever else. But I think there's also a fear in Singaporeans, or some people in some societies, where if they announce or declare that they have depression, they will not have as many rights to certain things. Like for men, they are not able to join certain parts of the army. And for some people, when they actually enter uni or others, when they declare they have depression, they will always have a watchful eye out for them to not be able to do some things that other students can do. Is it feasible for us as Singaporeans to really drop this wall, this boundary, you know? Yeah, and let them be as equal as us, and let them pursue things that they want as like us?
Well, I'm someone who was actually, I went to NS, then I was diagnosed with depression. Then because of that, I was time to PSE and I was time to a museum. Well, I feel that it's certainly a serious problem. A lot of people don't declare depression actually because they are afraid of being stigmatized. But I think there's actually some organizations are actually going out of their way to reduce the stigma, to actually hire people who are depressed. And this is a small problem. I mean, this is something that is a higher problem that companies and governments should make efforts, and efforts in order to increase awareness overall in society.
I would think that whatever we are proposing now is merely to raise awareness for depression, because now I would think the prevalent problem now would be that people who have depression are not surfaced and they don't get the attention that they seek. And because of that, many of them suffer in silence, and like we said just now, many of them take their own lives. So our primary concern at this point in time should be to raise awareness and to bring these people up. And we do agree that yes, there is a certain stigmatization surrounding people with depression, making it hard for them to seek work. But we believe that first and foremost, we want to think of the well-being of this group of people, to look after them, to take care of them first. And whatever steps will follow is really, maybe it's more into the future, a more foresight kind of thing. But yeah, this would be a concern at this point of time.
Eugene, can I ask a personal question? Just now, thank you for sharing your what you had, concerning depression during MS. Did you feel stigmatized in any way, and the way people were trying to help, or were they not trying to help?
Well, I felt stigmatized by the psychiatrist at the MMI. But then, generally speaking, most of the people I met at NS, I didn't tell them how I went to because of this and that. I just said that I'm PSE, that's what they know. I didn't tell them exactly why I was here.
Okay, so there was enough privacy for you to sort of help you to cope with whatever.
Yeah, but at that time at the start, I was actually didn't know why I was getting work, because they didn't tell me that people who have PSE 9, L9 are not actually given work, so I was actually asking. And so I actually wanted more work, so I sent a request to my home officers that could you give me a job? But they didn't.
And they did?
No, they gave me a job per se. I mean, then I saw what I wanted. I mean, it wasn't a job that did much, but then turns out that people who in NS, if you are some sort of mental illness, you're not actually supposed to be given work. I do feel I should be told that before. I mean, if I was told that, I think I would have really minded, but then because I was left in the dark, I was rather confused for the first time at NS.
One question. Why do you choose depression out of so many mental illnesses like that?
Why I would choose depression, I would say is a personal experience. Like I mentioned just now, one of my friends went through depression. So being in such close contact with people like that really kind of affected me. And then I had a lot of other friends who went through the same problem. And I myself was in a stage where I was caught between oh my gosh, am I depressed? Am I going through depression? Or am I just merely going through like this very, very, very rough patch? And at that time, I didn't have any friends or anyone to guide me through this journey. So it was about a few couple months of really just trying to figuring out, everything myself. And it was really, really, really excruciating. So I feel that, there is a need to, call out to people out there, to friends, to really just reach out to the people and really be on the watch for their behaviors, on a constant lookout for them, and to be aware of ways to advise them, because oftentimes when you're in that state, you are not really rational about what you are doing. So I feel that there is a need to. And secondly is because I have done a sort of an internship at IMH before, so not just depression maybe, but I work with people with other forms of mental illnesses, and I feel that mental illnesses in general is something that is not really being tackled, it's something that is not really being addressed. And we wanted to do mental illness initially, but we zoomed it down to depression because it was one of the more major and more, one of the mental illnesses with the most blur lines. So we really wanted to clarify on that.
And I think 1 in 3 Singaporeans got depression. And it's really, really yeah, thank you.
Thank you.